I'm Courtney Colvin.
And I'm Josh Mitchell.
And we've been married about 2 years.
Yeah, right at the start of the pandemic.
Yes.
There you go. And how many kids?
We have 3 children now.
Yes, 2 are adopted and 1 is biological.
As Layla would say, yes.
That's awesome.
I took the classes when I was 27, and right after my 28th birthday, a couple months after my 28th birthday, Layla was placed with me. They called me on my lunch break, and I had a 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old, by that afternoon. I didn't really have any particular reason to start fostering. I just wanted to. I wanted to be somebody's mom. There was room in the house. There was room in the car. I didn't have a good reason not to do it. And I was young and single and grown enough that nobody could tell me no. So I did it.
And what did your friends and family say when you decided you wanted to do it?
My friends were very supportive. There was nothing surprising about that to them, that I would just do what I wanted to do, I guess. And then my parents were kind of iffy about it. But of course, once Layla got here, they were on board. And my sisters, of course, they weren't surprised either. They were very, very supportive and helpful. And for the most part, I think it was just something that seemed natural for me to do, I guess. A few months after we got married, they called and asked if we would take Dominic, and we said we would, and his situation was a little bit different. With Layla, I had like 5 hours of notice. With Dominic, it was several months between when we knew Dominic and met Dominic and when he was moved into our home. And that was November of 2020, on his birthday, actually.
Hey, there you go.
So I was coming off of, being a 20-year-old bachelor, kind of doing whatever I wanted, and, moving into fatherhood, I kind of had to make a lot of adjustments as far as my time, and I'd never had to let people know where I was going to be. I never had to account for other people in my plans, so that was probably one of the biggest adjustments, just remembering that all the time. But the parenting part, it's difficult. Raising kids is a challenge sometimes, but
Yeah.
In the end of the day, all you gotta do is love them, and if you love them, that's all they can ask for. Baby number 3 arrived on April 1st of this year, Chloe Jane. That was an adventure. We had always talked about having multiple kids. We were still in the process of fostering Dom and trying to get him adopted. So we said, let's try it the old-fashioned way this time.
Yeah.
So once we found out that she was pregnant, we kind of went through all of that. And like I said, Chloe came into the world on April 1st, and she has been a joy ever since.
A lot of people have, I think, misconceptions about the kids who are in foster care, as if maybe they're there because of something related to them, but it's not about them at all. It's about finding a safe place for them to be, while their parents can hopefully create a safe place for them to be. And then, of course, if that doesn't work out, finding an alternative safe place. Be a foster parent. You don't have to be ready to adopt. You don't have to be ready to take an infant. You don't have to be ready to take a teenager. They ask you questions and they work with you on figuring out what your family can handle, what your family will be able to accommodate in a way that's going to be helpful for everybody involved. It's not like you have to just sign up and be like, hope for the best. They do ask you a lot of questions about what you feel competent to manage. So I would very much encourage anybody thinking about it, go to an orientation and ask some questions. They have those like monthly, I think, maybe, that you can meet and go in, and they can just, without committing to anything, just ask your questions and kind of figure out what it's all about. Because it's about a lot of different things. It's a lot more than a lot of people realize.